I have been remiss, as of late, in giving credit where credit is due. Stephanie Hamill is a real deal conservative. As many of you know, recently I have done some videos calling out some fake conservatives. People that seem to be saying all of the right things on the surface, but when you do the deep dive, they really aren't. Stephanie Hamill is not one of those people. She is the real deal. She's an actual conservative, and she lives in California, which shows the level of bravery that she has. I cannot imagine how difficult that must be, living out on the West Coast and being a real deal conservative. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share a story, a couple of them actually, that she shared. The first one, she retweeted something from Dana Loesch. Now, I know a lot of you know who this person is. I'm not very familiar with Dana Loesch, but the story is out of Syracuse, New York. Chilling doorbell cam footage shows creep threatening to R and K, a woman. Now, this in and of itself, I wouldn't have done a video on. But can you imagine this happening in Florida? This actually happened in Las Vegas, in Nevada. But all of my southern peeps out there, can you imagine how this would have ended up if some Rip Van Winkle wannabe tries this in Florida on a Ring doorbell? He would have ended up a giant pile of sucking chest wound about 30 feet from that front door. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Here, Texas, South Carolina, Georgia. You see, liberalism empowers bullies. I guarantee this would not happen here. Because we empower people to take care of themselves. Case in point, this is Grady Judd, Polk County. His quote. Now, this is the sheriff. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this quote, but I think it bears repeating. Quote, "The people in Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, or whatnot, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns." Now, that's what the sheriff is saying. Publicly. Now, does that happen in reality? Yup. Sure does. 4 November 2019. Pregnant Florida mom uses AR-15 to kill home intruder. The guy had a few steps out the front door and ended up dying in the ditch in the front of their house. This is what happens in Florida when crap like that happens. Now, let's jump over to Syracuse, New York. I'm sure many of you might have saw this on Fox News. There's this very pretty young lady. They're trying to do some kind of a story for Spectrum News or whatever. Got the cameraman, and she's standing there on the sidewalk, and a couple of drunk guys come walking by. And one of them is polite and just says, "Wow, you look very nice." And she's like, "Thank you." But then some hillbilly decides to run his mouth a little bit too much. Now, she gets nervous and self-conscious, and this just decides to kind of run away. Now, that's what's encouraged in liberal states. That's what's encouraged in blue states. Down here, that dude better have had his track shoes on. Because you try this, especially with a black or Latina woman in Florida, or in the South in general, it is going to be on like Donkey Kong. And the real story is the cowardly cameraman. If I'm there as a cameraman assigned to do this, and some dude comes drunk walking by saying this kind of stuff, I would have used the camera to beat him into a pile of nothing. And the cops would have showed up and laughed. Literally laughed. And that would have been the end of it. And that's how things are handled in the South. Don't think so? South Carolina. Veteran uses butt of his shotgun to kill home intruder, not injure, kill home intruder who attacked his wife. This guy here on the left, 82 years old, Army retired. Shooting the guy was too good for him. Shooting the guy was too good for him. He grabbed a shotgun and beat him to death with the butt of the shotgun. Now I ask you again. Got a wife? Got a daughter? Got a sister? Got an aunt? A grandma? You want them to feel safe? You want them to feel empowered? Where are you going to live? Liberalism breeds cowardice. And I know I have a whole bunch of Florida women and Southern women out there in my audience right now going, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, wouldn't even think about it. Wouldn't lose a moment of sleep over it. Especially with this guy. Are you kidding? With that glass door right there? How did he know that the boyfriend wasn't laying in bed next to her or sitting on the couch next to her? That shit happens down here, and I hear it. First thing I'm going to do is laugh. I'm going to flip open the phone, and I'm saying, hey, Bubba, guess what? We got a live one. And then I'm going to go open the door slowly. And I'm going to make this guy wish he had never been born. Never been born. And when my buddies start rolling up, we're going to go feed the gators. Ain't nobody going to get called. There ain't going to be no video. There ain't going to be no on loop at CNN. That's what happens in Florida. And they know that down here. That's why it usually doesn't happen in Florida. Sometimes you get some morons from up north that come down here for 5 minutes and think they know what's going on. Yeah, that gets handled. There's a whole lot of stuff in Florida that gets handled that don't make the news. So just saying. It's a reality. And once again, I just want to say thank you to Steph Hamill. Bravery is the thing. Bravery is a hallmark of conservatism. Courage is a hallmark of conservatism. I've checked into her social media, gone back a long time. Can-Am racing, flying in planes, snowmobiling, and a New Year's resolution to step outside her comfort zone. Modeling for Beach Bunny swimwear as well. And also taking up the cause of conservatism while living in California. To me, honorary Florida woman. Honorary Florida woman guaranteed. I don't know how she handles it out in California. I don't know that I could. But make no mistake. Make no mistake. I feel horrible for this young woman. I really do. But how it was handled could have been better. And in the South, this would have been one of those moments where if you were a cameraman and some guy came up behind a Florida woman and started talking this way, you would have just kind of closed your eyes and winced and said, oh no, oh no. Because it'll be a giant pile of throwing hands and claws and nonstop. And believe me, the cops are going to show up and laugh at the perpetrator. They're literally going to laugh at the guy. They're going to cuff him and stuff him and throw him under a cell somewhere. And then maybe in a few weeks, when they're bored, they might get around to giving him a hearing. Maybe. If they're bored. It's a great deterrent. It really is. This kind of disrespect. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I feel terrible for this woman. But this woman knew what was up. This guy knew what was up. This is how things get fixed. And there's stories, so many more like this, all over the place. But once again, in contrast, as thousands of inmates sent home over pandemic could be told to return to prison, activists urge Biden to keep them home. See, they're going to try to rearrest these guys. Let me know how that works out. Let me know how that works out. You let them out because you couldn't afford to take care of them. Just absolutely insane. But I can't say it enough. I really can't say it enough. Actual allies are hard to find. Steph Hamill, you are one of them. God bless. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for sharing this story. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you tonight on Twitch.